What if the secret to unlocking Chelsea's attack wasn't a new transfer, a new formation, or even a new manager? What if it was always there, buried in the squad, waiting for the right moment, and it sounded like samba? Because right now, in the spring of 2026, Chelsea have something they haven't had in years. Not just a striker in form, not just a creative midfielder clicking. They have an identity, a pulse, an energy that feels almost contagious. And it's coming from Brazil. João Pedro, Estevao, Andrey Santos, 3 Brazilians, 3 players who have all started to look like completely different, better versions of themselves under Rosenior. Today we're going to talk about what changed, what Rosenior gave them, and whether Chelsea have accidentally built one of the most exciting attacking units in the Premier League, with a little bit of Rio running through its veins. If you're new here, hit subscribe. Let's get into it. Let's start with the man at the centre of it all. When Chelsea signed João Pedro from Brighton in July 2025 for around £60 million, the reaction was measured. He was a good player, a solid player, but there were genuine questions about whether he was the striker Chelsea needed to push for the top 4. Under Enzo Maresca, those questions were never properly answered because he was never properly used. Maresca's Chelsea was a possession-first system, patient, structured, lateral, beautiful to watch at times. But for a striker like João Pedro, explosive, creative, someone who needs space to run into and ball to feet in dangerous areas, it was suffocating. He was being asked to stand between 2 centre-backs, and waiting is not what João Pedro does best. Then Rosenior arrived on January 20th and everything changed. The first thing Rosenior did wasn't tactical, it was psychological. He looked at João Pedro and told him essentially, you are not a target man, you're a footballer, play like one. That sounds simple, but at a club like Chelsea, where the pressure is constant and the spotlight is unforgiving.
I've known about João for years. I've had some really good conversations with him since I've been in at the club. I know what he's capable of, and the thing that's scary for him, even though his performance was outstanding tonight, there's more. And I'll keep pushing him for more, like I will all of the players. And I'm really excited to work with him and all of the group. I'm delighted for him tonight because that will give him so much confidence moving forward.
That kind of freedom, that trust is everything. What followed has been one of the most impressive individual transformations we've seen in the Premier League this season. In the 12 games under Rosenior, João Pedro has racked up 10 goals and 5 assists. That's 15 goal contributions, 1 every 60 minutes of football. Compare that to 1 every 158 minutes under Maresca, and you start to understand the scale of what's changed.
For those who haven't seen you play, what type of qualities would you say you're going to bring to Chelsea?
I think I'm very technical. I love to score.
But the numbers only tell half the story. Watch how he's playing now. He's no longer pinned to the centre-forward position waiting for crosses. He drops into the half spaces. He receives between the lines facing goal. He drags centre-backs out of position, and then Cole Palmer or Estevao or Enzo Fernandez ghosts into the space he's just created. It's the false 9 role, but done with the confidence and intelligence of someone who's finally been told, this is your game, trust it. His first touch has become a weapon. In tight spaces, under pressure, he takes the ball and turns in one motion. His shot conversion rate has jumped by 15%. He's now first among all Premier League strikers for chances created this season, a striker creating more than most attacking midfielders. And then there was Villa Park. Chelsea go 1-0 down after 2 minutes. Away from home, Champions League race on the line. This is exactly the kind of moment that has broken Chelsea strikers before. The curse, as some call it, the weight of the number 9 shirt at Stamford Bridge. João Pedro did not flinch. He equalised with his first chance. He made it 2-1 before half-time. He completed the hat-trick in the second half. Chelsea won 4-1. After the match, Rosenior said one word, scary. That's the right word, because a player who can deliver a performance like that, in that kind of moment, with that kind of composure, that's not a player in form, that's a player who has found himself. Now let's talk about the other Brazilian who's been impossible to ignore. Estevao arrived at Chelsea last summer as one of the most hyped teenage signings in recent memory. The comparisons were instant, inevitable and probably unfair, but when you watch him play, you understand why people reach for them. He's 18 years old and he plays football like someone who genuinely does not believe defenders are a threat to him. Under Maresca, Estevao had moments, flashes of brilliance that made you lean forward in your seat, but he was also being managed carefully, rotated, protected. The system didn't always give him the freedom his game demands. Under Rosenior, the leash is off. Rosenior's vertical, high-intensity system is almost perfectly designed for a player like Estevao. It demands that wingers run at defenders, it demands directness, it rewards creativity and individual expression in the final third, and Estevao has responded the way talented Brazilians tend to respond when you give them space and trust, by making everyone around them look better. His connection with João Pedro has been particularly striking. Pedro drops deep, creates the space, and Estevao arrives late into that pocket, arriving with pace and purpose. It's a partnership that feels instinctive, almost telepathic. Is that the Brazilian thing? Two players who grew up watching the same football, idolising the same players, who share a cultural understanding of how the game should feel, joyful, expressive, decisive. Maybe. Or maybe Rosenior just found the right way to set them both free. Either way, the results are undeniable.
He's a player with special ability, special talent, and every time he's been on the pitch so far with me, I think he's been outstanding. But I feel if you watch that goal, what makes me so happy is all 11 men are back behind the ball. That's why he gets the space.
And then there's the one people don't always talk about first, but they should. Andrey Santos. The Brazilian midfielder had a complicated start to his Chelsea career. Loan spells, question marks, the kind of journey that at other clubs might have ended with a quiet exit and a move somewhere smaller. But Rosenior looked at him and saw something different, an aggressive, dynamic box-to-box midfielder who could be the engine of everything he wanted to build. Under Maresca, Santos was peripheral. Under Rosenior, he's central, literally and metaphorically. He's pressing from the front alongside João Pedro. He's winning duels, breaking lines, arriving late into the box. He's the Brazilian who makes the other Brazilians look even better because he does the dirty work that gives them the freedom to be creative. There's something about his style too, that mix of intensity and flair that fits perfectly into what Rosenior is building. He's not just a defensive midfielder, he's an attacker, disguised as one. And here's what's interesting, all three of them, Pedro, Estevao, Santos, have hit their best form at almost exactly the same moment. The same manager, the same month, the same shift in philosophy. Coincidence, maybe, or maybe there's something deeper going on. Here's the question I want to ask, and I'm asking it seriously, not as a gimmick. Is there a Brazilian spirit running through this Chelsea side right now? Brazil has always produced footballers with a particular relationship to the game. It's not just technique, though the technique is extraordinary. It's joy. It's the belief that football should be expressive, that creativity is not a luxury but a necessity, that the beautiful way and the winning way are not opposites. For years, Chelsea's football under Maresca was efficient, controlled, but it wasn't always alive in the way great football is alive. Under Rosenior, something has shifted. The verticality he demands, that willingness to take risks, to play through the lines rather than around them, is a philosophy that suits the Brazilian way of seeing the game. And the three Brazilians in that squad, they're not just performing, they're expressing themselves. João Pedro playing with the kind of freedom that makes him look like a completely different player. Estevao running at defenders like there's nothing in the world he'd rather do. Andrey Santos playing with that hunger and energy that makes you think he's got something to prove and enjoying every second of proving it. Is this a coincidence, or has Rosenior, consciously or not, built a system that plays to something culturally specific that these three players carry with them? I don't think we need a definitive answer, but I do think it's one of the most interesting things happening in the Premier League right now. Chelsea aren't just better, they're more fun, and the Brazilians are the reason why.
I was talking with Andrey from Instagram, ask about the guys, about the club, and he said good things about the team.
So where does this leave Chelsea? 3 Brazilians, 1 new manager, and a team that looks like it's rediscovering what it means to play football with genuine belief. João Pedro is not just the signing of the season. He might be the symbol of a new era at Stamford Bridge. A striker who was close to being written off, who found himself under the right manager at the right time, and who is now performing at a level that makes you think the Chelsea number 9 curse might finally genuinely be over. Estevao is 18 years old and already looks like a future Ballon d'Or conversation. Think about that. And Andrey Santos is the kind of player every great team needs, the one doing the work that makes the magic possible. Together, they're becoming something special. The question now is simple: can they sustain it? Because the Premier League has a way of figuring teams out. And Chelsea's rivals will be studying this Rosenior system very carefully in the weeks ahead. But right now, in this moment, Chelsea are playing with a joy and a creativity that the club hasn't felt in a very long time. And somewhere in the middle of it all, 3 Brazilians are having the time of their lives. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this Brazilian trio can carry Chelsea into the top 4? And who's been the most impressive of the 3 for you personally? Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.